It's time for another episode of Raising Courageous Leaders by Mr. Bonnke Shipalana. That's my dad.
Hi, my name is Bonnke Shipalana and welcome to another exciting episode of The Power Within. Thank you so much for all your questions and input. Please keep them coming. You can send them to powerofone@bonnke.co.za. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to be in touch with us. Today I want to speak about champions. Champions. If you go and do your Googling, you'll realize that the word champion defines someone who survived as a fighter or a gladiator in the ancient days. It was all about survival of the fittest. These days, being a champion simply means that you performed better than the others. You were number one, what they call first place performer. Most of us tend to travel locally and internationally to go and experience, to go and see these champions performing. As a tennis fan, I've been to London to go and watch Wimbledon. I've been to New York to go and experience the US Open. I've been to Paris to go and watch the French Open. Some of my friends have traveled to the UK to go and experience the English Premier League. Some who are golf fans have gone overseas to go and experience the golf tournament, the US Open. But the one question that I want to ask you today is, what is it exactly? What is it exactly that we want to observe when these champions are performing? What is it that actually captures our attention to a point where we save and spend money to go and watch them perform? I'm sure that some of the answers coming up now is they always perform better than their competitors, always excel in their discipline, they continue to remain on top, or maybe it's about their craftsmanship. I won't disagree with you, but I've got a different opinion. I have a different reason why I save and pay money to go and watch and see them perform. For me, I go and watch them perform because I respect their self-discipline. It's always about their self-discipline. The late Dr. Miles Monroe defines self-discipline as a self-imposed standards for the sake of a higher goal. A self-imposed standards for the sake of a higher goal. For one to be declared a champion, meaning that they excel in their discipline, they're on top of their game, they are a master when it comes to their craft, you can be guaranteed or assured that this champion has self-disciplined him or herself. For one to be declared a champion, you can be guaranteed or assured that that particular person has self-disciplined him or herself, meaning that he or she has self-imposed a certain level of standards for the sake of a higher goal. That higher goal might be monetary. That higher goal might be to become the best in the world. That higher goal might be about setting a new world record. But for that to happen, they had to self-impose standards for the sake of that particular goal. So I have concluded that for one to be defined, described as a champion, it simply means that their foundation is self-discipline. For one to be declared, defined, described as a champion, their foundation, what they stand on, is self-discipline. Without self-discipline, it's impossible to be a champion. Without self-discipline, it's impossible to be a gladiator, a fighter, to survive, to be the best, to be number one in your skill. My question to you today is, What are your self-imposed standards? What have you chosen to do, not because it feels good or great, but due to the fact that it takes you a step closer to your goal? Self-discipline is not about excitement. Self-discipline is not about happiness. It's about pulling your goal closer to you. Imagine your goal is tied by a rope and you're pulling the goal closer to you. It's not about excitement. It's not about happiness, but it's about making sure that every pull gets you closer to that goal. You might be sitting there and say, but Bonnke, there are no opportunities. There is lockdown, COVID-19. People are losing jobs. The economy is going the wrong direction. I want to remind you of a quote by a guy named William Butler. William Butler. And it goes something like this. Do not wait to strike till the iron is hot, but make it hot by striking it. I'll repeat. Do not wait to strike till the iron is hot, but make it hot by striking it. That quote reminds us that we have to start where we are. Self-discipline yourself at your current level. Don't wait to compete at a high level, and that's when you say, I'm going to self-discipline myself. Most people who play in the big leagues were once amateurs. They once played in the lower leagues. Self-discipline yourself with what you have, with where you are. Remember, you have to be a champion at your current level in order to be promoted, to compete at a higher level. You have to be a champion. You have to self-discipline at this current level, at the current level where you are, in order to be promoted, to go and compete, to go and self-discipline at a higher level. This was another exciting episode of The Power Within, where we raise courageous leaders.
Raising courageous leaders. Thank you, Dad. You better subscribe to the Power Within TV channel. Do it now.